Hey everyone, I've been playing around with Canva and more specifically Canva apps, and there's so many of them out there. So I wanted to do a video for you guys about 10 good ones that I found, 10 that you can actually use for print on demand. A lot of them have to do with text, and I think these can really help you get your designs to stand out and help you be more productive on print on demand. You'll see what I mean. We're gonna go to Canva right now, and I'll show you all 10 of them in this video. So here I am on Canva. And one way to find all the apps on here is to just go here on the left sidebar. There's a thing called apps. When you click on it, you can see all the ones kind of they highlighted. They have trending, top apps for teams, creative teams. A lot of these are the ones I used. And then there's also design essentials, which I found a lot in there too. So we're going to go over all of them. You can go all apps as well on here and take a look. Like I said, there's a ton of apps on Canva. So I went through a bunch of these and I found, I think, are the 10 best right now for print on demand. So in my opinion anyway. I'm gonna go, another way that you can find this is just to create something. So I'm gonna come in here, do a custom size, do 4500 by 5400. Now I'm in this space where I have the artboard, and you can see apps on here in Canva. So apps, and I can click on here and then just search for apps. So that's what I'm gonna do for this video. You can do it either way, but I like just having it here and then searching on the app. So the first one we're gonna do is called Type Warp. You may have seen this one. This is a fun one. This is a lot like Typecraft, which I talked about, and we're going to show that one in here too. So Type Warp does these things here. It can warp your type, and the reason why you want to do this is the only thing that Canva has without the apps is to kind of curve your text. This kind of gives you more ways to do it. So I'm going to just type the word, I don't know, California, all caps, like that, and you can see I can do it this way, I can do it this way, I can do it this way, and you can adjust the blend. Look at that, pretty cool, right? You can also change the font. I kind of skipped over that, but you can change and use a lot of the different fonts that's already here. If you have a favorite, you can search for your fonts, you can do display. So I'm gonna pick one that's a little more tight here, more condensed, and you can see I can choose whatever. And I can also choose the color. So if I have a color that I like, great. And then here are the shapes. And this can like really help you have a design layout that's different than you can do without this app, right? So here's this one. I like this one right here because it's not all the way rounded. You can see the edges are there, but you can have a bunch of these other ones. Look at that. You get this and this and this, and some of these have can change like this, and then some of these interact with this as well, have like a second type version of it, so you can play around with that. But a whole bunch of them, really cool, right? And then you can do the waves here. Look at that. Wave height and stuff. So play around with this one. This is a fun one to do. I'm going to show you one that I like here, and oh, was it this one? Yeah, look at that. I'm going to add this to the design. Now you can't retype it on here, but you can just go on here and do it again. So if you need it to say something else, you don't click here. You would go in here and say, oh, actually I want it to say Arizona. Boom, update it, and then there it goes. So very cool. It looks kind of pixelated. I didn't try and see what it would look like when I share it. So let's see if this is something. I'm going to download it. We are at 4500 by 5400, so that's pretty big. I'm going to do a PNG transparent background and download this thing and see if it's actually just pixelated on screen or what it looks like as a PNG. It kind of looks okay. I think it's still a little pixelated, so I don't know how big it makes it, or maybe it's just the font itself, because I'm using a bad font with outlines. Let's try and change the font and see if it changes it. I'll do this Alpha Slab one and update element. Oh yeah, this does it a lot bigger, and that's a lot cleaner. So make sure to choose the right fonts on here, and I think you can get it a lot cleaner like this one. All right, so that's Type Warp. Try it out. I think you can have some fun with it and make your designs, like I said, stand out because your text is standing out. The next one I want to show you is very similar, so I'm going to go back to apps. You can go just right here, apps, and type it in. It is Typecraft, and I've talked about this one before, but it's worth mentioning again. It does pretty much the same kind of deal, but in a different way. So you can type in, so let's say I did Arizona here as well. I can change my fonts. Again, some really cool fonts. I think these have different fonts than the other ones. I think this one's more limited than the full set, but I'm going to try it here. Go back. You can do this style like we have here. The colors, again, let's make it a different color. And then you can kind of see down here, you have these handles. So you can kind of make it almost any way that you want. Instead of having some basic styles that's already there, you can, change your style like this if you want. And so have fun with that. You can also do it horizontally, so whatever you do on one side, it does it on the other side. I can reset my shape and do vertically, and then what it does on the top, it does on the bottom, or if I did horizontal, what it does on the right, it does it on the left. So that makes it really cool. So I'm gonna do this like that, kind of like that one, and add element, and then you can see right there. This one comes out really clear. So I don't know what each one is using, but I think the Typecraft one comes out a lot clearer, as you can see. But both of them are really fun ways to change your text to make it look different so that your design stands out. All right, I'm back here on the apps again. I clicked apps, and these are all the apps. You can actually scroll down and look at some too. You don't always have to use the search bar, but it's going to be easier with the search bar because I'm going to tell you the name. So the next of these next three have to do with type, but in a different way. And I want to show you these. These are so fun. Type Extrude. So there it is. Type Extrude. And as you can imagine, what it does is it extrudes or does a shade or shadow for the text. So I'm going to type in another word here. Let's do aloha, like that. And we can change the font here, but I really like that font. But we could go in here and change it to whatever we want. Well, let's pick that one and go back to fonts. There it is. And we can change the color like that. We can also change the color of the extrude. So if we wanted to do, that or that, whatever we want, that's fine. Alignment, we can do, if there's more than one word, let's see. Let's do Hawaii, and there you go. That way you can do alignment, center, left, or right. And then we can do the line height too. So look at that. Pretty cool. And then we can do a block style, a detailed style, which does another color inside, you can see. So we can pick that. So if I wanted that look a white, that could be a fun one too. Or we could do the line right here. So it's not connected, just a line underneath. And the extrude effect. So how thick do you want the lines, or the angle back and forth, or the length? This length one is actually a cool one for this one. So if you want this one and the length, look at that. That's so cool, right? And then 3D shadow, do you want it? Ooh, I don't know. That kind of a harsh shadow, but you could put it anyway, and you can do an opacity on it, so you can have two things. So I usually don't like it, but it's kind of neat on there. And I'm gonna add this to the design. There you go. Isn't that cool? Just that alone could make your design stand out with text. But you could have some other text, like some script text under here or whatever. I think would be really cool. All right, so that's the first one, Type Extrude. I'm going to show you some other ones that do kind of the same thing but different, kind of like how we had the Type Warp and Typecraft. Almost the same thing but a little different. So I'm going to go out here, go back to my apps here, and then type in Font Studio. Like that. Whoops, I think it's all connected. Studio, there you go. Font Studio, there it is. And you can see, look at all of these. So this one only did one, but this one has a whole bunch of other ones. And I'm just gonna pick one. I mean, it goes on for a while, right? So let's do something that's different. This one right here. Oh, you gotta purchase the premium. So some of these are premium. Whoops. I'm gonna do one that's not premium. So this block letter right here, You got some letter fill in here. I'm gonna try and do the same thing. Aloha Hawaii. Look at that with the colors, just does it. And I can pick a different font. Boom. Oh, no, you can't. That's a premium feature. Oh, I picked the premium. Of course, I picked the premium one. Okay, there you go. And then special effects, upgrade to premium. A lot of these are premium stuff, but you can see I'm just gonna add this to the design, and you can see I can use this one. So play around with it, figure out which one's premium and not premium. I should have done that, but there's a whole bunch. Like that one's not premium, that's not premium, that's not premium. This cool breeze, look at that. I'm gonna add it. Wow, isn't that amazing how that did that? So have fun with this one. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's a ton of them that are not premium. Of course, you can pay for premium if you want. I try to avoid that, but you can see this one with pixels. If you need to do a pixel art, it's kind of cool. You can change the colors. I think that's not premium. Yeah, look at that. So, and the projection, I'm going to do red. That's really cool, right? And so I did that right there. Boom. So a lot of fun ones that you can do with this one. And there's another one. So that's Font Studio. I'm going to go back. You can see how many cool ones there are there. I'm going to go back to the apps store. And there's another one called Type. Oh, I got to type better. Type lettering. There we go. Type lettering. There it is. And look at that. This one has not as many as the other one, but more than the first one. I probably should have put the Font Studio at the end, but it does some really cool stuff on here. So Friday vibes, you can see I can change the colors. I can change the font, same kind of thing. I want Art Disco maybe. Look at that, so fun. So I can change the words on here. I can change alignment. I can change line height if I wanted to get closer. Stuff I can change the colors. So if I want this to be white, the background, I want this one to be lighter, I can come in here, maybe change that to something else, right? Cool stuff. And then add this to the design. Boom. And this one, so this one has retro, this has this one, where it's the different colors here. And so it's really cool because like you can do stuff that you seen, but it kind of does most of the hard lifting for you. Look at that. Oh my days. Cool. So yeah, have fun with this. I think this is a cool one to try out. All these three kind of do more text effects in a different way. It doesn't bend the text, but it adds the color and does the shape. So really fun, can add some really cool interest to your designs. These next two have to do with filling your text with a pattern or whatever picture you want to pick or whatever. So I made a polka dot pattern here in Canva and I exported it, and we're going to use that. So here's one called Type Cutout. There it is. And we're going to click on here. And you can see it says good vibes right now. And I can change the words to, let's say, I'm going to do polka dots. Whatever, like that. It can have a period in there. I can change the image. So I'm going to choose the image that I did, polka dots PNG. Look at that. Really cool. I can change the position of this. So if I wanted that, or if I wanted to rotate it, maybe I want my polka dots to be that way, whatever. And I can change the size of it. So I can make it bigger or smaller, like that. I can change the text like we saw there. I can change the font style. Like all of these have some really cool fonts that you can pick. Center, and does the same thing with the line height too, which is kind of neat. And I'm going to add this to the design. Now this is really hard to read on white because the background is white, but if I change the background to something darker like that, there you go. Look at that. That's really cool, right? To put on your design. So this one is called Type Cutout. The only thing is you're gonna have to find your background and create it. Now, there's so many backgrounds on here in Canva. You can just pick it off of that, save it as a PNG, and upload it like I did here. So really cool. Next one is, let's go back to the apps here, and it is very similar, and it's called Font Frame. Here it is, Font Frame, and you can see same thing. So I can type in, we'll keep with our Aloha Hawaii And it already comes with this one, which is really cool. So I'm gonna add this here so you can see, but you don't have to use that one. You can, just like this other one, choose a file on here. I'm gonna do the polka dots. The nice thing about this one is you can have a frame border. So I can come in here and change the color of it. I like black on this case, and then we can change the thickness of it. So if I don't want it so thick, or if I want it thick, it just makes it easier to stand out on different things. I can choose all the fonts here, so really cool. Again, with the alignment, left, right, center, and the spacing, and it does letter spacing as well as line spacing, which is really nice. That's a nice option. And let's see, choose file, use selected image. It used another image. I'm gonna choose the polka dot one here. There we go. And we has the image zoom too, so if you want to make that bigger and smaller. So just different ways to do it. I'm gonna replace it or add to the design here. And you can see the two different ways that it comes out here. Now I can totally take the outline off if I wanted to do it like this, just by going here and taking my border weight all the way down to 0. But I kind of like that border on here. So use either one that you like. Both type cutout and font frame do kind of the same thing, but in different ways. I think both can be really fun when you're creating your t-shirt designs or other designs and you want a pattern inside of it. All right, these next two are not the same, but I'm gonna show you two of them, and they have to do with gradients and making frames, which I think can really help. So first one is type gradient. There you go. Very basic. All it is to add gradient colors to your text. So let's just do that. We'll do the Aloha Hawaii. This doesn't make sense, but I'll do Mahalo on here just so it has 3 lines. And you can come in here and you can change the colors of this. So here are the colors you can see. So if I wanted to make it yellow on top and green on bottom, I can do that right here. And I could even, I think I can do a third or whatever, so I can put it in here like that. Or I think I can double click. Yeah, I can add multiple gradients on here. So if I wanted like all these different colors, yeah, I can have it. You also can pick your fonts like we do here, and we can align it like the other ones do. I like center, and we can do the line height again like these other ones do. And then we can see what kinds of different gradients. So we have circle gradient or radial gradient, cone, mesh, which is kind of a neat thing where you can move things around and, you know, play around with the different colors here, which is kind of cool. This one kind of turns out really cool. And then add it to the design here, and look at that. Really cool coloring, gradients, and things for your design. So really fun. Lots of different ways to do it, and if you're wanting to add more color to your text, it only does text, but if you're wanting to add more color to your text, I think this is a fun and easy way to do it. The next one, number 9 here, is Frame Maker. There it is. Lots of frame stuff for apps, so you can, but you can try all of those. But the thing I like about this one is you can use these points to create a frame that you can put something inside. So if there are some frames, there's a ton of frames on Canva already, but if there's a shape that you want that they don't have, this is an easy way to do it if you want something like that you can draw. So you can see I can double click on these points and like bring things in and whatever. So if I wanted to make a lightning bolt or whatever, let's see if I can do that. I can come in here and, you know, do that, double click, boom. Not the coolest lightning bolt, but I could do it, right? Like I could, then now it snaps to these points, which I think is nice, so you can make sure that they're aligned here. And you can remove a point if you want to, and you can make the grids bigger or smaller. And then there's some shapes already in here that you want to, if you want to start with. But I'm going to add this right here, and now this is a frame that you can use. So I can come in here if I want to go to my elements, and let's say there's a picture, I don't know, let's do a cat, because why not? So I can do a cat, and let's say I want not a video, I want a photo of a cat. I can put the cat in here inside the frame. Look at that. That's not the best way to do the cat, but I could do anything, right? Any photo or graphic. Let's say a sunset. Boom. I could put that in there instead. Look at that, inside that frame. So you can make any frame you want with this points and click and do it. You could do letters or whatever shapes that you want. So I think that's could be really fun to do and kind of give your designs something different that's not already out there. All right, so I saved the best for last. What I think is the best one here, and what it's called is Batch Create. So, oh, bulk create, sorry, but it does batch it. Bulk create, I think it's one word. Nope, let's try 2 words. There it is, bulk create. Now, I don't know if it's an app or not. I think it actually comes with Canva, because if you scroll down, at least when I scroll down, I see this bulk create right here. So let me show you how to use it. I'm actually gonna go and get one of my designs first. So I'm gonna go out and get out of here. So I'm gonna do it on this one right here, this Nacho Average Family, just to show you what it does. So the idea behind this is I can bulk create the same thing, but just changing one word. So this is for scale design. So if I want to say Nacho Average Dad, Nacho Average Mom, Nacho Average whatever, I did this, you know, back when Cinco de Mayo, it was closer to Cinco de Mayo, but you can do anything, right? So if it's coming up on summer, you can do whatever here. This is great for years too, vintage, born in year, whatever. There's lots of options to do this. So let me show you how to do it. I'm gonna go back to apps again and bulk create 2 words, boom, and then click on this one. Okay, so step 1 is upload or manually enter data to quickly create hundreds of personal designs. Hundreds. I'm gonna do enter data manually, but of course you may want to do this on a spreadsheet, like a I think it takes CSV files, so you can do that, but I'm gonna do it on here. You can see I have family names here, and I'm just gonna type in maybe 10 of them. Not gonna have you watch me, but I'll put 10 of them in here, and you're gonna see the power of this, why this is so cool. All right, so I typed in a bunch: mother, father, uncle, aunt, grandpa, grandma, papa, nana, brother, sister, right? So I'm just gonna hit save here. And then so it has all of those in here. So next I'm going to connect it to it. So select an element in your page that connects with the data field. So I'm going to connect this one right here, family, not this one. I'm going to do that one. It says family names, and then I'm going to hit continue like this. And there's all of them. So you can check, double check, are these what you want to change it? Nacho Average Mother, Father, Uncle? Yeah, I think that's it. So here it is, generate 10 designs. Now you could have more. So if I had a spreadsheet with a list of countries or cities or years or whatever, I could do a lot more than 10. But here's 10 right here, and watch what happens when I hit this 10. So one design created to save your projects, view in folder. Okay. And here it is. Not your average mother, father, uncle, aunt, grandpa, grandma. Oh, that went a little too long. I should have tested that out. But I can, since this is text, I can come out here and just make it smaller if I want. Boom. And I could actually change this. If it was spelled wrong, I could still change it. It's still text. Papa, Nana, brother, sister, and so on. So look at that. That's so cool. This could be a city, a state, family names, sports, you name it. There's a whole bunch of things that you could do in here to create this and do this in bulk and do this as scaled designs. And these scaled designs can be used on Amazon, as well as if you want to do it on Etsy and stuff. It's not so great for TeePublic and Redbubble, but if you are selling on Amazon or on your own site, I think this could be really cool. So there you go. Those were 10 apps that I think you can use on Canva for print on demand. Let me know in the comments which one of these 10 was your favorite, or if you used any of these before. If you want to see a video that I did between Cutout and Canva, which one you should pick or which one is better, you can click on this video right here. I did a updated version of one that I did 2 years ago. So this one's very recent for Cutout, all the updates, and the Canva updates that have been done. So thanks again for watching. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.